Honourable Ministers for taking off their time amidst their busy schedules. It's not easy. We thank you so much, Honourable Minister, for your time. Thanks for visiting Bay Bay Farmer. We are here. We are sitting on 250 acres of land. Our plan is to be able to manufacture essential drugs. Especially, you know, in Uganda we import more than 85% of all essential drugs that we use in our hospitals, in our clinics, in our... We want to be able to change that landscape. We want to be able to manufacture all essential drugs here in Uganda. So we are able to supply the country, supply the region, supply Africa and the world. Because our factory is built to meet the most stringent standards, like the US FDA, WHO standards, EMA is the European Medicine Agency. Any stringent standard in the world, we are being constructed to meet all those standards. So our plan is to be able to make drugs for the country, but also to export the rest of the world. So the ambition is huge, as you can see. We'll be manufacturing, we're setting up almost 30 manufacturing units, 30 different factories, to be able to manufacture all those drugs and vaccines. All of you are well versed when you were a younger kid. They are those, we used to call them 6 killer diseases, which we are immunized against. We are going to be making those vaccines right here. We didn't have enough time. This campus, you need 2 days to go through everything, because 250 acres is not a simple thing. But at least you've been able to see the first facility, which is sitting on 6 acres. If you want to know what we are talking about, those are 6 football pitches in one building where we've been. If you go there alone, I'm sure you can get lost in there. So we'll be able, we need to visit the other vaccine where we are going to be producing. We are starting with 9 vaccines, including polio, measles, BCG, tuberculosis, toxoids, name them. That's the first facility. Then we have, you've heard that there is a treatment for sickle cell. Sickle cell is a problem. 80% of this problem is for the black race and the people of India. There are 2 drugs that are approved to treat sickle cell. Once you undergo those, once you get them, you don't have sickle cell. It's completely gone. Unfortunately, those drugs are not in Africa. So what is our plan? Our plan is to be able to manufacture some of these biological drugs that 80% of the world, countries around the world, 80% of countries around the world cannot afford these drugs. So we want to be able to manufacture these drugs and bring about affordability and availability. Because these drugs, especially even for the breast cancer drugs, they are not available in Africa. They are not. And yet those are the drugs that you need to be able to cure some of these real sicknesses, like sickle cell, some rare cancers. You don't have it. Or because the cost, for example, I told you sickle cell, 2 drugs, 1 drug, it's called Lifegenia. You need a single dose, but the cost is $3.1 million. How many people in Africa can afford? The cheapest, which is Casgavi, costs $2.2 million. How many people in Africa can afford that? $2.2 million, about 80 billion Uganda shillings. $3.1 million, 11 billion Uganda shillings. Who can afford that? But we are going to make those drugs and bring about affordability, including for treatment of cancer, including for that. So we are here as a project that is going to help to change the landscape of this country. We are going to be employing more than 40,000 high-paying jobs, creating these jobs for Uganda. And then we expect that just this facility will be able to give Uganda what they are looking at, the $500 billion economy. And we are not bluffing. We are serious about what we are doing, because this technology. When our president talks about knowledge economy, this is where you find it. Where manufacturing meets standards, manufacturing meets technology. So we believe that what you've been able to see here, the WHO have been here, African CDC have been here, all bodies have been here But one thing they say, they have not seen anything like this in the whole of Africa. So they have confirmed we are the largest manufacturing pharmaceutical campus on the African continent. And I'm sure once we complete once the facility is completed, we will be able to create more than 40,000 jobs, and we're going to be the largest in Africa, and one of the largest probably in the world. We'll be competing with the companies in the US, in China. So I thank Uganda, I thank the President for the vision, because as they Biopharma and our partners, we've so far invested here more than $2 trillion Uganda shillings. Government has given us 724 billion. So, but the entire campus, to complete it, we need $1.1 billion. That's what we need to complete. So the other amount of money that we really trying to raise to be able to complete this is about $430 million. But also on top of that, we've decided that now this is a Ugandan thing. Ugandanis, I'm calling upon you to come and buy shares here, because you own shares in this company already through government. Government owns shares here. So I think they want to buy additional stake on your behalf. But we're going to list this company. So I'm calling upon Ugandans to buy stake, to buy shares in this company. And we are sure that you are going to get a return on your investment. So I thank you so much. Honorable Minister told me to talk about the cassava, the starch plant in Kamuli. Yes, this starch plant sitting on 600 acres in Kamuli is one of the most advanced facility in Africa, which was commissioned by the President last year. We manufacture starch, pharmaceutical grade starch, food grade starch. We manufacture fructose 54. We manufacture maltose. We manufacture glucose. These are easy photo down. You know there is something there, because this is his vision. This is his effort. For us as a company, and of course banks, Equity Bank spent here almost 400 billion, and other banks, UDB put here almost 100 billion, Tropical Bank put here almost 50 billion, NC Bank put here almost. So locally we mobilize more than 500 billion to set up this. On top of that, us together with our partners in the US, we so far invested about 2 trillion. Government has brought in 724 billion. But I want to assure you that our president cannot go into something which is fake. He was the first person, and that's why the first laboratory where you visited, it's named after the president. Why? He's a man of vision. When I was starting out as a younger boy, I first discovered the malaria drug. So some people wanted to buy it. Some multinational companies wanted to buy it. Huge money. Huge money. When our president learned about it, he says, no, if you ever sell this innovation, you will have betrayed the cause of Africa. Every time these people were pushing me to sell this innovation to them, I always remember those words. I didn't know by then what the president was talking about. Now, because of his effort, look at what we've achieved here. This is the largest single campus manufacturing plant on the African continent, the most advanced. You are going to be able to get all of vaccines, all drugs, essential drugs that will be imported. We're going to be able to make them. It was his vision many years ago. For me, I was like, doesn't he just need me to go to man or what? But at that time, was seeing what I could not imagine. That is our president. He's a man of vision. So I want to thank him. And I want really to appreciate him. This is his effort. That's why that laboratory is named after him. Yori Museveni. Why? TKM. Yori Kaguta Tihabura Museveni, to appreciate his legacy. Because what you're going to see here, for the first time, you are going to be exporting real products. For the first time, Uganda is going to earn real money. Money bigger than oil and gas. It's all a catastrophe of our president. I wouldn't have done this without him, without his encouragement. So I want to assure Ugandans that be rest assured that your money is in safe hands. You've not made a loss. You are going to be able to get drugs that you've just been dreaming about. Drugs that they said they were not sure, like sickle cell. We are not treating sickle cell here. It's so, this facility that's going to start producing those drugs that treat sickle cell. And it's a problem here in the country. Our millions of our sisters are here suffering from sickle cell. Sisters and brothers. So we'll be able to treat those. Cancer, Alzheimer, drugs like those. Because of our president, I'm the first scientist in Africa to have more than 100 patents in the US. No other. And I want to look into your eyes and tell you, I'm the only one on the African continent. And among the few ones in the world who have more than 100 patents. All these patents are, more than 70% are already published by the US Patent Office. From treatment of Alzheimer to treatment of sickle cell to treatment of Down syndrome. In fact, the best is Down syndrome. I'm working with the top university in the world. Top university in the world to bring this treatment to the rest of the world. We've so far filed more than 20 applications to make biological drugs with the US FDA. And some of these approvals are out already. So what we are doing here is going to be able to turn things that the country has never expected. The 500 billion economy that the government is looking for, they should not look any further. We are here to provide that. And we can guarantee you that's going to be done. Why am I confident? 3 drugs, and you journalists, you can go and search about it. They are called GLP drugs. Those drugs, the Ozempic, I think you heard about them. Wegovy, Monjaro, they are called GLP drugs. They currently generate close to $100 billion every year, but they're adding $1 trillion to the US economy every 4 years. Some of these drugs have already developed them, have gone to the US FDA, already have some of the approvals, and we're going to be making those drugs here. So if 3 drugs are adding $1 trillion to the US economy, how much would they add to the Ugandan economy? So we are sure about what we are talking about, because it's science, nothing else. So I thank our president, I thank his vision, it's what has led to this. God should bless our president. Honorable asked me to tell you what are the drugs we are making. We've so far submitted how many drugs? How many? 50 to National Drug Authority. They are still reviewing them. Currently we are manufacturing those that are approved, about 10, 30 that are approved by National Drug Authority for manufacturing. And I ask Ugandans to support us. We are manufacturing drugs for tramadol, to manage severe pain, for cancer patients, people are going through a lot of pain. Tramadol, doxycycline, tranexamic acid. And I think we are the only ones in East Africa making this product, tranexamic acid. It's a very, very, very wonderful drug for our mothers, and we are the only ones making this drug in East Africa. Then hydroxyurea for sickle cell patients. That's the drug that's used to manage the sickle cell patients. So hydroxyurea, I think we are the first one in the region still to make that product, and many others. Cramadine, Roctadine, as you can see them here. I'm asking Ugandans to support us, and actually when you use our drugs, you see the difference. When you use products that have been produced by you will see the difference. They are not like the ordinary drugs that you find on the market, because they are produced to meet the most stringent standards in the world, like US FDA, like WHO, like. So we are going to be giving you antimalarials in the next 2 months, I think. all those antimalarials that we've been talking about, and nobody is making those antimalarials in Africa, especially DHA. Dihydroxymethyl, nobody is making that in the whole of Africa. But amodiaquine, antisonate, nobody is making that in the whole of Africa. So we are going to be the first people to make some of those drugs here. In the next 2 months, you'll be able to get them on the market, and many others. But our plan is really to bring availability and affordability of the most advanced drugs that are not affordable to 80% of the people in the world. I hope you got that. Biological drugs and advanced drugs, 80% of countries around the world cannot afford them. And they are not even available, especially in Africa. So what we are going to do is we are going to bring affordability and availability of those drugs, because we are going to be making them right here in Uganda. I told you already we have more than 20 applications with the SFDA, some of them already approved, to manufacture those drugs right here on the continent. I thank you.
So, njagala kubaling dignified future for our young people and for our country and the people of Uganda. I want to thank the President for being strategic. Many leaders we read about today, like Julius Nyerere, he said independence without development is meaningless. So he advocated for industrialization as a key to development. That is when Tanzania got independence, I think in 1963. Then Kwame Nkrumah, he said they must industrialize their country or they perish. That's Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. Mahatma Gandhi, he said India's salvation lies in the growth of its industries. Right now, India, which was a third world country, is an emerging economy under BRICS, but also it has overtaken the UK as the fourth or fifth largest economy in the whole world due to industrialization. And India focused on medicine and IT. That's what has made India. So when the president decided to invest in India, I was among the doubting Thomas, who thought, what is the president trying to do? Dumping $250 million and adding more money in this factory. I thought the president wasn't being he wasn't being kind enough. But now today, when I decided that I should come and see, one, meet the young people who work here, two, associate and hear from them their stories, three, see who are the people working here. So all of you, you'll confirm, the journalist, that we found only Ugandans. I've not seen a Chinese. I've seen only Ugandans working at this park, young people from all types of districts, Karamoja, Kamuli, Iganga, all districts I've had, at least Wachiso, PG, and all these other things. So Deng Xiong, he was a Chinese, one of the Chinese founders. It doesn't matter whether a cat is a black or white, as long as it catches mice. A reflection of his pragmatic push for industrialization and economic reforms. For him, he said it doesn't matter whether a cat is white or black or brown, as long as it can catch a mice. Kapa we tajifako obaya white obaya blue obaya chi kasebange solo kwata emese. Yechechi yasinzira konga kakasa nti bwe bakola industrialization ensi yabwe ya China ejagenda maso. Lee Kuan, the only way to be competitive is to industrialize, educate, equip young people with skills. So as a minister of young people, I felt it is important to come and see what is being done in Matugga. And finally, I've seen what is happening in Matugga. The Matugga factory deserves all the support. We should support the president's idea to industrialize, to make our economy strong. The only way we can make our economy strong is purely we need to invest in long-term national strength, not just short-term gains. We should stop looking at short-term gains, but invest in long-term national strength. And one of the first strengths is having our own industry. One, we are creating jobs at a large scale. Like Mr. Mogoola has said, Dr. Mogoola, we shall have 40,000 jobs at 250 acres. We are having more jobs in Namasagari, which was a place there in Namasagari where the railway stopped or started in 1923. Namasagari had deteriorated, the roads were going down, the school had gone down, so the school had been left out. So as for Kamuli cassava farmers who are growing cassava, now they have a market for their cassava. We shall save money that we used to buy starch that can be attained through cassava by giving that money to Ugandans, and we shall keep our money here. That is how we become a sovereign nation, a nation that can survive on its own. So industrialization absorbs large number of young people, and it gives them employment and decent employment. Like you have seen these young men who are explaining to us, the CEO, the technician, everybody. I've seen a Ugandan, I've not seen an Indian. So let us support the president's idea. Secondly, it adds value to our resources. Like I mentioned, in Amasagari we have cassava, but this drug in here, the content, 99% is cassava or starch. So if you can attain starch from cassava in Namasagari, in Busoga, other than growing sugarcane, they will have now an alternative of having something else that they can grow. So they are adding value to that. Then thirdly, our economic growth, it aids economic growth and the stability of our nation. So a strong industrial base diversifies the economy and reduces vulnerability to external shocks. Like you are all aware, what is happening now in Iran. They hit the industrial park, which produces some of the things like fertilizers and all these other things we are using. Now, for a country like Uganda, which is landlocked, we have our oil. Now, the moment the president decides that we invest in Kabalega Industrial Park, whatever trillion we need to invest in, let's invest. We shall create our own Tehran, our own Iran within Uganda, because we have the raw materials that can transform our nation to be what it should be. So today, I think that's what we know Wagamanti Olokose, Walerondokose, on what I've seen and on what I'm seeing. Structures India, from Iran, from Egypt, from all these countries. Now, if Dr. Mogoola says we can make the recipe here, and we can make the drugs made by using our own material in Uganda, getting starch from Matoke, then many people are selling Matoke at 10,000 when there is no value. Now, if we can buy all that Matoke and we crush it and we put it in one factory in Namasagari and he makes starch, then the farm of Matoke will also earn money. So it is not development for the other thing. Then it is improving infrastructure. You could have noticed the kind of building. He has built one building on 6 acres, just one building. But he says he has 250 acres. And his target is to have 30 of such buildings in this compound. I think infrastructure is being improved. Roads, electricity, didn't have this tarmac road, now we have the tarmac road. We didn't have electricity, now he has a dedicated line in Matugga, we have a substation. Then the other most important thing that we should do is independence. You can't say we are independent, the nation is independent, when we can't produce our own goods locally. And a nation that relies on imports and enhancing sovereignty. We can't say we are sovereign, we are a sovereign state when we are depending on import at all times. So I think finally industrialization will expand our tax base, more industries. That means more jobs, more goods sold, more revenue, and national development. So Dr. Mogoola and your board, the board chair and all the other board members and the management and staff, right from the gatekeeper who opened for me a gate, to the young lady who was giving me a coat to change, to the people who have given us water, to the journalists who are here, and everybody who is here. I want to thank all of you. Let us stand behind the president. Let's support his idea and his plan to industrialize our nation so that we can be like Mahatma Gandhi's dream. The current Modi and all these others are just using the dream that was started by their founding fathers of those great nations. So let the president be recalled, Museveni, Yoweri Kaguta, His Excellency, as the founding father of industrialization in Uganda. So on behalf of the Minister of Gender, as we head towards celebrating the Labor Day, I want to congratulate all the workers who got jobs here. And I'm encouraging you, Dr. Mogoola, government will continue supporting and standing by you, because our leader's dream is to industrialize Uganda, create drugs, and get revenue from people. With the kind of standard you have here, we are going to have people buying our drugs from America, from Europe, from China. Just focus on ensure you pay the workers well. That is my appeal to you. Make sure the workers are paid on time, and make sure we build this somewhere nearby, a workers' campus where they can stay, to avoid them getting hit by people who hate our nation as they are going back home looking for where to stay. So let us safeguard our workers in a secure compound, because 250 acres, we can dedicate 10 acres for workers' quarters, so that our workers are protected, our scientists are protected. That is my request to you, sir, Dr. Mogoola. But I want to thank you for giving employment to our young people and also creating alternative revenue that our government can earn. Briefly, I will ask you, Dr. Mogoola, to tell us so far what drugs you have made and the other drugs that you intend to make. How many drugs have you made and what